The Battle of Bin Jawad was a battle in the Libyan civil war between forces loyal to Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi and anti-Gaddafi forces for control of the town of Bin Jawad. Battle. On 5 March 2011, following the Battle of Ras Lanuf, rebel forces advanced along the Mediterranean coast and captured the town of Bin Jawad. They stopped during the night in the hamlet and planned to continue on to Sirte in the morning. During the evening, the opposition forces pulled back to Ras Lanuf so they could prepare to continue their push to the west. On the morning of 6 March, the rebels were on the move again and were passing through Bin Jawad, when they realized that loyalist forces had entered the town the previous night and took up positions in houses and on rooftops in preparation for an ambush. Government troops opened fire on the rebels with machine guns and RPGs, and the opposition forces were soon in full retreat toward Ras Lanuf. During the chaos, about 50 rebel fighters were left behind and trapped inside a Bin Jawad mosque. The rest of the convoy quickly retreated back to the edges of the town. Gaddafi's forces had retaken Bin Jawad. As the rebels were retreating east to Bin Jawad, they were hit by helicopter and air strikes. After getting a chance to regroup, rebels moved up multiple rocket launchers from Ras Lanuf and fired toward Bin Jawad. However, loyalist troops had also pulled up their heavy weapons and an artillery duel followed. The new rebel front line was established 3 kilometers east of the town. During the fighting, one military helicopter was reported to have been shot down by the rebels and crashed in the sea. Meanwhile, in Ras Lanuf, loyalist airstrikes hit the airbase, held by the rebels. At least 2 people were killed and 40 wounded. By the morning of 7 March, the BBC reported that the town was under the control of government forces and they were advancing on Ras Lanuf. On 9 March, the rebels attempted to move against Bin Jawad once more. However, after firing off around 50 rockets and making some advances, they were hit by artillery and airstrikes and retreated to Ras Lanuf. According to the rebels, at least 50 to 60 fighters were killed in the initial fighting on 6 March, and, according to one rebel fighter, 700 were missing. In December 2011, a mass grave containing the bodies of 170 of the 700 missing rebel fighters was discovered near the town. Aftermath. The Battle of Bin Jawad marked the end of the initial rebel offensive. Proving to be the high-water mark of the rebel offensive, it marked the end of the rebel advance westward at the time, and opened the way for a government counter-offensive that took pro-Gaddafi forces as far as the gates of Benghazi, before being pushed back by UN intervention. On 27 March, rebels entered Bin Jawad after coalition airstrikes on tanks positioned there, and managed to recapture the town. However, on 29 March, they retreated once again under heavy artillery fire from loyalist forces. Rebel forces eventually returned to Bin Jawad again some months later, in a separate engagement after the fall of Tripoli in August 2011.